Hi, this is Margaret and welcome to my YouTube channel Grammar Buzz Learning Made Easy. Hey, thanks for joining me today. In my previous video, I have already discussed about adverbs. We already know that verbs are action words and adjectives modify nouns. But in today's video, we are going to learn about the kind of adverbs. But before we move on with the main part of this lesson, it's time for us to know the lesson objectives. So, the lesson objectives for the day is aiming to help us know what are the different kinds of adverbs, identify them, and also know how to use them. But before we know all these things, you know what? It's a little throwback time. So let us quickly review what we already know. And that is, an adverb is a word that can modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Remember, we already discussed this in our previous video. And lots of adverbs end in ly. When an adverb modifies a verb, it tells us how, when, where, why, how often, or how much the action is performed. Yes, isn't that cool? An adverb modifies a verb and it tells us how, when, where, why, how often, or how much the action is performed. So, to start, there are 5 types of adverbs you should familiarize yourself with. And they are adverb of manner, adverb of place, adverb of degree, adverb of frequency, and adverb of time. Well, it's time for us to look into each of these adverbs individually. So, let's get going. Well, let us begin with adverb of manner. So, adverb of manner tells us how or in what manner something was carried out. They mostly modify verbs and can often be found at the end of a clause. This category comprises the most common adverbs, the ones that end in ly. Okay, time for an example. And our example sentence is, I combed my hair carefully because it had lots of tangles. I combed my hair carefully because it had lots of tangles. So, which is the adverb in this sentence? Can you guess it? Yes, you're right. It is carefully. Note the word carefully. Well, it ends in an ly. And it tells us how or in what manner the verb in the sentence was carried out. That is, how was the hair combed? It was combed carefully. So, if we ask the question, how, to the verb, the answer that we usually get is an adverb of manner. Well, here are some examples of adverb of manner, and they are beautifully, generously, happily, neatly, patiently, softly, quickly, well. But remember, you just need to ask the question how to the verb in order to find out an adverb of manner. Hey, you could use a few adverb of manner and frame your own sentences. You could even pop them in the comment box below. So, moving on with adverb of place. Well, adverb of place tells us more about where the verb took place. These tend to pop up after the main verb or direct object of the sentence. Okay, let's take this example into consideration. It says, clearly there aren't any ghosts here. Clearly there aren't any ghosts here. So what do you think? Which is the adverb in this sentence? Yes, you're right again. It is here. The adverb here tells us more about where the verb took place. So, in this sentence, here is an adverb of place. And remember, all we need to ask is where. Yes, if we ask the question where to the verb, the answer that we get is usually adverb of place. Well, some common adverb of place are above, below, everywhere, here, in, inside, into, now, here, out, outside, there. Well, feel free to construct your own sentence using any of these adverbs that I have just said. Well, what about the next kind of adverb? Well, the next kind of adverb is adverb of degree. So, adverb of degree tells us more about the intensity of the verb in the sentence. In other words, they describe how much or to what degree an action takes place. Adverb of degree can also modify adjectives and other adverbs and are placed before the word they modify. Remember, they are placed before the word they modify. Well, what about this example? It says, I am so excited to move to America. I am so excited to move to America. So, what do you think? Which is the adverb in this sentence? It is, yes, you're right, it is so. The adverb so tells us more about the intensity of the verb. So, in this sentence is an adverb of degree. Well, remember, if we ask the question, how much to the verb, the answer that we get is usually an adverb of degree. Popular adverb of degrees may include almost, enough, hardly, just, nearly, quite, simple, so, too. Well, you know what? Just use a few of these adverbs to construct your own sentence. Well, time for another kind of adverb, and that is adverb of frequency. Well, adverb of frequency lets us know how often the verb occurs or how often an action takes place. Therefore, they mostly modify verbs. These adverbs tend to appear right before the main verb in the sentence. So, what about this example? Well, it says, she usually shops at the Korean market in town. She usually shops at the Korean market in town. So what do you think? Which is the adverb in this sentence? Well, you're right again. It is usually. The adverb usually tells us about the frequency in which the action of shopping takes place. So, in this sentence, usually is an adverb of frequency. If we ask the question, how often to the verb, the answer that we get is usually an adverb of frequency. Popular adverb of frequency may be rarely, usually, sometimes, often, and so on. Well, time for the next kind of adverb, and that is adverb of time. Well, adverb of time tells us when the verb took place or when the verb takes place. We usually see these kind of adverbs placed at the beginning or the end of a sentence. And let us take our example. It says, the morning newspaper arrives daily. The morning newspaper arrives daily. So what do you think? Which is the adverb in this sentence? Here, the adverb is daily, and daily modifies the verb arrives. If we ask the question, when, to the verb, the answer that we get is daily, and that is our adverb of time. So remember, if you ask the question when to the verb, the answer that you get is an adverb of time. Adverb of time may include popular words like annually, daily, monthly, recently, tomorrow, weekly, yearly, yesterday, and so on. Okay, so those were the 5 different kinds of adverbs that we have just discussed, and I hope you have quite well understood all of them. Now it is time for our remember. So, what do we need to remember? Well, all we need to remember is adverbs modify verbs, but they can also modify adjectives and other adverbs. And there are 5 types of adverbs. And I know that you already know what they are, because you know what? You are a smart one. And yes, it's time for our practice. Yes, it's the practice time. So this is how it works. I will be showing you a sentence and you will have to identify the adverb and also tell me what kind is it. So, are we ready? Are we ready? So here we go. Get set, go. And here comes our first sentence, and it says, I haven't been going to the gym lately. I haven't been going to the gym lately. Hey, what do you think? Which is the adverb in this sentence? Can you spot it all right? Can you? I think you have already done that, and you are absolutely right. It is lately, and it is adverb of time. Well done. And here comes our next sentence. It says, we went into the cave and there were bats everywhere. So what do you think about this sentence? Which is the adverb here and what kind is it? Something to think about? Are you confused? Or have you got it all right? I think you already have. So let us share our answer. The adverb in this sentence is everywhere, and it is adverb of place. Good job. Well, here's the next one for us, and it says, I politely opened the door for my grandmother as she stepped out of the car. I politely opened the door for my grandmother as she stepped out of the car. Hey, what do you think about this one? Have you spotted the adverb? Have you? I think you have. So let's share it together. And the adverb in the sentence is politely, and it is definitely adverb of manner. Good job. And here comes our next sentence, and it says, aren't you hungry? You've hardly touched your dinner. Aren't you hungry? You've hardly touched your dinner. So what do you think about this sentence? What about the adverb? What about it? Have you spotted it? Have you? I think you have. So let's share the answer together. And it is hardly. And it is adverb of degree. Great job. And here comes our last sentence. And it says, I rarely eat fast food these days. I rarely eat fast food these days. Hey, so what about this sentence? What do you think? Which is the adverb in this sentence? Have you got it? Have you? I think you have. Good job. And it is rarely, which is an adverb of frequency. Well done. Hey, you have done a great job. And that was a really fantastic job that you did. Hope this video helped you understand the different kinds of adverbs. And you have any questions at all, you know what to do? Hey, just pop them in the comment box and I'll get back to you. So, thanks for watching. And hey, don't forget to comment, share and like my channel. Do press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. This is Margaret signing off for today. Bye everyone and take care of yourself. Bye.